Well, good afternoon, everyone. We really appreciate you taking the time to join us today as we discuss Clover Payroll by ADP. My name is Megan Santangelo, and we're joined today by ADP's Gilbert Kresh, Division VP of Sales, and Anand Pandya, VP NGM of Specialty Solutions Small Business Services. They will be demonstrating how Clover Payroll works and how you can start offering it to your merchants. Just a reminder that we will be keeping the phone lines muted throughout today's presentation, but we will be monitoring your questions within the chat and QA, so feel free to submit those as we go. So Gilbert, if you're ready, I think we can jump right in.
All right, thank you. And hi, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day. Thanks for having me on today. And hopefully, you get some good things out of this session that we'll spend together. My name is Gilbert Kresh. I've been with ADP for 24 years. I'm the head of sales for our embedded division at ADP. What the heck is embedded? It's really a journey that ADP's been on where we are trying to inject our payroll inside of high using SMB softwares to really build a journey in an environment that the merchants are asking for. We went on this journey. We decided to partner with Clover, and the reality is the reason why we partnered is because the merchants and our clients on our side were asking for a solution inside of their payment walls that can do payroll, help them run their business, and really truly simplify their day to day. I believe what you'll see today from an embedded journey is something exciting that you will like, that you will see value in, and hopefully you can see how this value brings to your merchants. Throughout our experience, I'll start sharing my deck. Please ask questions, put it in the chat. I'll probably stop the presentation a few slides in to give everybody a break to kind of gather their thoughts, put some questions and comments into the chat that I can answer. But really, my goal today is to show you what the benefit is to you personally, to the merchants, what the product looks like, how to get us an opportunity, and really be able to have you walk away and armed with an ability to truly bring this to market and start to have these conversations as soon as today. All right. Hopefully my deck is populating. All right, good to go. So, like I mentioned, how does this benefit you? Today, the employee management solutions in Clover Payroll by ADP is truly a native payroll solution that can, integrate with Homebase if they're using Homebase for employee attendance and time tracking. Everything's embedded. It is offered in any solution, any bundle inside of Clover, and it is really the ability to stand on its own. So if they want to use it through the embedded journey, they can. If they want to use it standalone, they can. They want to use it with Homebase. It really has the flexibility to offer the solution in the way that the merchant is looking for. How does this benefit you? There's three really, to me, main reasons. Number one, should help you drive net new business. There's two folds to this. One, if you're going up against a competitor, call it Square, Toast, another payment provider that has partnered with a payroll company and built maybe a single sign-on. Now you have the ability to offer those merchants to win the business a payroll provider, the number one payroll provider. We have been in business for over 70 years. We're the largest. We're the best. We're in over 150 countries. We pay one out of every five Americans, and we're the largest depositor to the IRS. That now is part of your solutions that you can offer. So it should help you drive net new business. The other factor is when you're running into, and your agents are running into merchants that are already using ADP, you now have the ability to sell them Clover in an easier, simpler fashion. I'll show you at the end how they can connect the two if they're already an existing ADP client today and there's no additional cost to them. It's a seamless process and they can begin to use the embedded environment as soon as they do this connectivity, and it's 5 easy steps. Number two, gives you the ability to go deeper with existing offers. You can have an existing Clover merchant today that is using Clover, and you want to offer them Clover Payroll by ADP, you can go deeper with those existing offers. You can, offer Clover Payroll by ADP to really any of your merchants that have at least one employee. That's the baseline to play. And ideally, if they're not using ADP, that's a great referral for us. If they are, again, I'm going to show you a way to connect the two here at the end. And the last one, to me, the most exciting, one of the main reasons why Clover approached us, why we approached Clover, why this was the perfect partners for each other is because we wanted to give the ability to help improve client retention. Your merchants, payroll is a sticky product. When they use payroll, they tend to stay longer, they are more engaged, and they do see that connectivity, and it makes it harder for them to leave you as the agent. The way that some exciting numbers that you should hear. Our retention today hovers around 90%. We've got low attrition rates. Our average client is with us for 9 years. Like those are numbers that should excite you to know and say, I want to inject Clover Payroll by ADP everywhere I can. Now, there's got to be a benefit to the merchant. That's benefit to you. There's got to be a benefit to the merchant. And a benefit to the merchant is to me, a lot of exciting parts around efficiencies, more value from you as the partner, but really this time savings, reducing errors, all in one solutions. If you just take a step back and you think of a merchant today that may be using Clover, and let's say they're using a competitor of ours in Paychex. In order to run payroll each week, they've got to go take the hours potentially out of the Clover system. They've got to go take the reports from the payments. They've got to go transfer that data into their payroll provider. This all-in-one solution that I'm going to show you a video and exactly how it sits, it gives them the ability to have all their data all stored right there in one solution. The second best part of this is we give white glove treatment to any merchant that you refer. We give them our 24/7 customer service. We give them our chat option. Any service ability that we give to any one of our 1 million SMBs, your merchants through your referrals through Clover Payroll by ADP, that's the way that we are going to implement them and service them end to end through our white glove service. And that should be an exciting part to know that they're going to be in good hands. Because again, ultimately, what we want is we want a sticky client. We want them to stay with us. We want to retain them. And by being able to offer them this sort of implementation and service, we know we're going to retain them longer. And the last piece is this product was built for small businesses. It is scalable. As you know, ADP, we're over 150 countries. We've got multi solutions, multi global opportunities. Really, this was built for the small business. It has to have at least one employee. It can go up to 150 employees under this platform. If they wanted to expand, there are other offerings that we can obviously offer. But this entire product was built for the SMB in mind. Let me show you exactly how it sits.
Quickly pay your people, saving you time right from your Clover dashboard. See how easy small business payroll can be with Clover Payroll by ADP. Access payroll from your Clover dashboard and get it all done from a single screen. View employee time data and easily make any payroll changes. Then simply click Preview Payroll to check that everything looks good. If it does, click Approve and you are done with payroll. You can then see the payroll details that have been submitted, including the total cash required and check or direct deposit date. Paying your people, managing employees, and running sales all happens in Clover, the world's smartest POS.
All right, I'd like to take a pause here. I'll just flip it over here to a competitor. And I want to see in our chats what maybe put some questions, comments in the chat. If anything that you're thinking that you may have on your mind right off the bat, or maybe some comments. I'd love to hear from you and just kind of slow us down to kind of retain what we looked at, what we saw. Do you see value in how this can help you with your merchants? Do you see value on how this can help with retention? I'd love to hear from you here.
There's no questions yet. I'll let you know if anyone pops up.
Great.
First one.
It,
Do you
oh,
see the questions?
Actually, there was
I
one question in the other chat, the webinar chat by Jim, not in the Q&A chat, but I can read that off to you if you want. I don't know if you guys can hear me.
I can hear you and I can see it. If it's in the chat,
Okay.
I'm seeing it. How do employees
Okay.
log in? Hey Jim, thanks for the question. I appreciate it. The awkward silence would have got a little weird, but that's okay. I'm used to it. But how do employees log in? So if the employees today are using, let's say, if the Clover merchant is using Homebase and they were to clock in using Homebase, they can continue that motion. We're also embedded in Homebase, meaning the hours that they log in, they clock in through home base will then be embedded inside of our payroll. So when they go to run the payroll on, call it pay date, the day before pay date, the hours will then go directly inside the payroll engine, Clover Payroll by ADP. They can approve the hours and submit the hours. It's that seamless. Great question. If they're not using home base, we've got time and attendance opportunities that they can use. We offer them that. Some organizations don't use any sort of time options. It's really very flexible, and hopefully you take that away here today. But hopefully I got your question there, Jim. Gary, are existing Clover merchants getting sold directly? So existing merchants getting sold directly, meaning can they see that ADP is inside of their dashboard? Yes, they do. They are. But everything is tracked through MIDS. So anything that comes through the electronic payments walls is tracked that way and is revenued back to the organization. So nothing will be, there'll be no profit leakage that way, but they are seeing that path there inside the dashboard, which my partner Anand will be on here shortly to kind of show you how a merchant could self-discover us. But everything is tracked, everything is done in a way that's organized. If the merchant moves from Clover, can they move their ADP account to another POS? Yes, great question, Nathan. Absolutely. So, although Clover Payroll by ADP sits inside the walls of if they're using embedded and sits inside the walls of Clover payment devices and dashboard, it is flexible. Let's say for whatever reason they decide to leave Clover, but they still needed payroll, of course. They would then just run inside of our retail run ADP platform. There'll be no disruption in service. The number one thing that we never want for a merchant is to have any disruption in service because they're not paying their employees. There's obviously a lot of risk at that. So no disruption will happen if they ever move. Doesn't ADP also see merchant services through some partnerships? We do not sell merchant services at ADP. We obviously do partner with Clover now, but we are not going to be taking your merchant and selling them Clover through any sort of retail bundle. There's no value to us in doing that. So it is independent of each other. Great question, Ray. Jim, merchants looking for clock-in cards, does ADP offer them? Yes, we do. We've got tons of different time options, whether it's biometric, whether it's just timesheet modules, all integrate inside of Clover. Again, if the Clover merchant's using Homebase, they can keep that, no disruption there. If they want to use our time and attendance, they have that flexibility. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate the engagement. All right, we'll take one more. Nathan, is there a list available of POS systems ADP works with? Um, as far as who we work with, the only embedded environment, call it where they can process payroll inside of their ecosystem is Clover today. ADP, there are single sign-ons that on our marketplace that can be added, but we're really focused on from an embedded standpoint just Clover. So if you were to bring us somebody today that is not using Clover but wants ADP, we would just sell them. We would still give them the promotions, the discounts, everything that comes from this partnership together. They just won't have the embedded inside of Clover. How difficult is the changeover from Toast to Clover to ADP? Great question. Um, and I think comes from Beat Stable. I think that's who just asked that. So it's a great jumping off point. I'll get back into the deck here. So Square and Toast. I'll tell you right now, we this is this is not to badmouth the competition in any way, but there's a distinct difference between Square, Toast, and ADP. Square and Toast, they're a payment provider first, and that is what their specialty is. That is their domain. That is what they're built on. They added payroll. The same reason why Clover now has the Clover Payroll by ADP option. They wanted the stickiness. They wanted to gain more business. Their customers and merchants were asking for it. But the challenge is they're not a payroll provider. So they've got limited capabilities, limited HR and support, limited customer service hours. They've got additional fees that just don't come standalone. And there are challenges inside of their software. If you look at any peer reviews around payroll, they are really low rated and have some challenging reviews. When you fast forward to ADP, we're the number one rated platform. That's a G2 rating back to back years. We just got it again for 26, and it's really the number one rated as a small business product. And that rates all small business softwares, not just payroll. So it is a distinct honor that, and we're humbled by it. And it really shows that this product was built for the SMB space. As far as that question that was just posed to us, the transitions is seamless. When I mentioned earlier that we'll do end-to-end servicing, we're also going to do end-to-end implementation, meaning that we will take all their payroll balances, as we call them balances. We will then enter them into our system. We'll do all the keying for the merchant. They don't have to do anything besides provide us the information. And here's another great part they get. They get a second set of eyes inside ADP to make sure that, let's say Square and Toast made a mistake. As you guys all know, Big Beautiful Bill has created complexities inside of payroll, time, tip allocations. So we are today onboarding a ton of customers and clients from Square and Toast, and we're seeing that some of those capabilities, some of the payroll translations weren't done properly. We're going to catch those. We're going to fix them before the year ends, and the merchant, your merchant, will basically look like they've used ADP all year long, even though we've transitioned them in any month of the year. So hopefully that answers your question out there. I'm going to stop there at the questions. I'm going to come back to the chat. I just want to remember where I left. I left that beat on the difficult changeover. I'll come back here in just a minute. ADP versus payroll competitors. These are our three major competitors: Paychex, Gusto, and QuickBooks. The embedded journey truly will separate you if you're selling Clover. If you're not selling Clover and you still want ADP payroll, obviously you can have that. And if you're taking it over from a Paychex or a Gusto or an Intuit, whether it's ease of use, scalable, live support from a customer service standpoint, if they want same day ACH, if they want dedicated support, they want any HR services, and the other things that we also offer that we do exceptional is a lot of the merchants that will come to us. Maybe they come for Clover Payroll by ADP. Maybe they come for just payroll, but they want to have in certain states mandated workers' compensation. We can offer that to them. They want health benefits because they want to attract better employees. We can offer that. They want retirement plans because certain states mandated, and certain and other merchants, other owners want to have a better incentive offering for attracting better employees. If they want any of that, can offer, and everything is revenue generated back to you, regardless of what we sell that merchant, as long as it was a referral from you and they're not using ADP today. Anything we upgrade them to, any other services in perpetuity, as long as the client is active, we'll be able to offer them those services. All right. So selling Clover by ADP at a glance, being assumptive, warm introductions, and leveraging promos. There's probably the three easiest ways to actually approach an opportunity. It's really not complicated. Are you currently running payroll for yourself or your staff? That's really the question to ask. And then really from a limited time offer, we have a promotion right now that we can offer any of your merchants. It's 6 months free payroll. It's going on till the end of June. So if you onboard a new merchant that's not using ADP, you can offer this 6 months free payroll. We do give months 4, 5, and 6, month 13, 14, and 15. That's where we structure all of our promotions to make sure that the merchant stays with us and they don't just try and buy and leave us. So that's the way we structure our promotions. Okay. Moving along, I do have a couple of things that I want to show you here is how to actually get over a merchant to ADP. So merchants can do it. They can self-onboard. My partner Anand right now is going to show you how a merchant can self-onboard, and it's a guided path. On the left-hand side, someone asked, "Are we marketing to a merchant today?" In their dashboard, they can see this today. They can purchase Clover Payroll by ADP. They can click I'm interested. They can buy our digital essential package. And there are these merchants out there that just don't want to deal with salespeople. They just want to buy the product end to end. And I'm going to show you here exactly how they can do that, how easy it is to offer, how easy it is for them to self-enroll. And then I'm going to show you two other paths where you can control the sales process. I'll give you a phone number and a specific URL that you can actually use to refer over to ADP. So, Anand, are you out there to take over my screen and show?
I am, Gilbert. Can you hear me?
Yep, perfect.
Perfect. And I think as soon as you stop sharing, there you go. I will share my screen. And electronic payments team, thank you for the opportunity to present. Gilbert and team, can you see my screen right now?
Yes,
Yes.
perfect.
Perfect. All right, thank you. So I'm going to talk about, as Gilbert shared, like how can your merchants self-discover, self-purchase, and self-onboard to our embedded payroll opportunity. I'll pause at certain points. Certainly, if you have questions, please feel free to stop me as I'm going through this. And as Gilbert said, this is just one way that a merchant can be onboarded. The more effective ways, which I think Gilbert covered and will cover again, is this notion of warm transferring the opportunity to us. But let me just get started just for the sake of argument so you can see how this works. So, imagine this is a dashboard. I think everybody knows that really well in Clover, right? So if you just simply, hold on a second here. Is it still showing up clearly for you? There you go, perfect. Just want to make sure. So this is a banner ad. We have banner placements all over the site. Let's say they click on it and they go to a landing page and we highlight the 6 months free. They say, I'm interested. So if I pause here just for 1 second, oh, what happened? Hello?
I can still hear you, Anand, but your screen went to
Your
the.
screen share went out.
Okay, hold on. And you can't see the.
I can just see the G2 rating.
Somehow I lost the whole access to. Give me 1 second here. You don't see me sharing screen, or how about now?
You're back. You're back.
I'm back. All right, perfect. So the video kept playing, so I'm going to just rewind back. Sorry, everyone. Sorry for that. I don't know why it went away. But so they click, yes, I'm interested. And this is a screen that highlights all of our bundles, right? So the far left is our basic essential payroll bundle. That's the one that can be digitally purchased. But as Gilbert likely mentioned earlier, we have packages to serve any small business client, right? Clients that have maybe a larger base of employees and they want HR products. Those are the two packages on the right. What you don't see here is we also offer products like retirement and workers' compensation insurance. All of those are rev shareable too, right? And those could all be purchased. So if you're a merchant that has more complicated needs, what's going to happen is you likely will speak to one of our associates who can really do a consultative approach and help guide you on what product is best. But if you're on the simpler end and you just want to get basic payroll, you basically continue with getting started, right? You can get pricing. It's an e-commerce experience. It's $79 plus $4 per employee. Hypothetically, this particular merchant has 5 employees, so it's 79 and 20. And when they hit get started, so effectively now the purchase experience is done. I'm going to now transition to what we call the onboarding experience, right? So they made a purchase decision. And now we will pre-populate all of the data. That's the great part of this partnership is whatever data has been given from Clover will be pre-populated here. You can see like employee data is pre-populated as an example, right? When you add employees, that information is pre-populated as well. Now, we will still need to ask for a delta of information, right? Because we don't have all of your address information, your deductions. So both the merchant has the option to enter that information, or the merchant can actually ask and punt that to the employee. And the employee can actually enter that information directly via our MyADP experience. So let's say at this point, all of the employee information is entered. We'll just collect tax information. And by the way, if the merchant doesn't have a tax ID, we have an offering where we can register on their behalf and get the ID for them. And the last step here is basically to authorize us to file taxes on the merchant's behalf. And also what we call as a client account agreement, which is basically allows us to debit funds from the merchant's payroll bank account. And that's it, right? So we went from a purchase to an onboarding experience, right? And the great benefit here is you can see that could literally be done by the merchant by themselves. And it's very simple to do. And if they get stuck in the way, like if they need help in the process, we will offer that help. There's a chat experience, there's a phone number. Either of those experiences, when you either call or contact, you're going to contact a member of my team that's dedicated to this offering that'll help the merchant onboard. Let me pause there. Any questions on that?
I actually have a question myself regarding this. Hi, my name is Kalu. When it comes to being able to access this page, only the owner can see this. So what about if I have other employees that maybe like an account manager or a bookkeeper or even just an employee that's a manager? Can they all see that tab on the dashboard?
The access will only be for the owner.
The
However,
owner.
if those other individuals want to make the purchase and they're authorized to make that purchase, they can call. They can call that warm transfer line that Gilbert's going to show in a minute, or they can actually submit a lead as well.
Okay. And that's always been the case because I've seen on the dashboard ADP has been there, but for me to see it, I'm not permitted to. So it's really like you're saying the owner, unless there's
Yeah.
a go ahead from okay. All right, that
And
was my
absolutely. But and I don't know if you're saying this, but I can also clarify that the purchase has to be done by the owner, right? Because you're
yeah.
agreeing to a consent to file taxes, you're agreeing to consent to us to debit the funds from your account. But if, for example, the client has a preference or the merchant has a preference that other authorized users can contact us for service needs, we can set that up. That's not a problem at all. Including members of, if you wanted to be set up because you provide that level of support to your client where they can reach out to you and you want to be authorized to contact us, that's also fine too.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right,
Great.
thank you, Anand. I appreciate it. Let's keep those questions going. Since we do have a break here in the deck, I'm gonna go back and answer a few more questions. Let's see. All right, right below Bree, can EPI DEO your product demo your product when they demo Clover for the prospective merchants? Yes, Gary, we are working on that. Anand and I have that as a takeaway to be able to in the demo environment, being able to demo the Clover product. We'll obviously share this deck after the call so you can kind of take a look at it and conceptually be able to understand it. But as Anand and I can tell you, we are actively working so you can have that. So keep you posted. Okay, Jim had lost that. Okay, then I'm gonna go back to the Q&A bucket. I feel like we're pretty caught up. Yeah, any revenue share, I would just take that back to with Matt and the EPI team. I think we're caught up. Bree, let me know if I'm not caught up, but it looks like I'm in good shape right now. All right,
Yep, you
let me.
hit on all those questions that have come in.
Great. All right, let's keep going. So we just showed the purchase path. So thank you, Anand, for doing that. Now, there are two other ways to engage your merchant with ADP. These, to me, in my opinion, are probably the best way to get conversion and to help the merchant out the easiest path. One is a dedicated URL there. When you click on that URL on the left-hand side, that info.adp, it will take you to the right-hand side. It's a referral form. You enter your information, you submit, gets to ADP instantly. Within a couple of minutes, my team can then contact out to the merchant and try to onboard them end to end and sell them on Clover Payroll by ADP or retail ADP if they're not on Clover. Or this number, hopefully you guys can all store that in your phone. This is a warm transfer number. What that means by a warm transfer is if you call that number today, you will get a live ADP person on the other line. Please use that number when you have a merchant with you that's not on ADP. That's what it's intended for. If you have questions or just a general knowledge check, you can use that ISO underscore inquiries at adp.com. But if you have a merchant on, you're gonna now that you guys are knowledgeable, I just know this group that you're gonna go out, you're gonna talk to a merchant, and they're gonna say, I needed this a week ago. We get this all the time. You're gonna say, great, let me just call in to ADP, listen into the call, give you some general knowledge. You call, you have the merchant on, you three-way call them with ADP, we'll do the rest. But it's always good. My recommendation is to stay on and hear the process because that will give you a good and deep understanding, even more than a demo that you can demo on the device. And then who are you going to be speaking with? These are dedicated sellers. That phone line, that the lead submission, these folks have 10 plus years of sales partner experience. They're results driven. They have the best in class tech stack, meaning that all the world class tools, all the technologies that we sell to any one of our, SMBs, they have that at their fingertips. Mention the client retention. Client retention. I say it over and over. I know I sound like a broken record, but to me, the value to everybody here is your merchants are asking for it, and there's retention there, and you're going to have a sticky product. We have 750,000 payroll deliveries for over 750,000 small businesses. We're onboarding over 160,000 new clients every year. And 9 out of 10 customers tell us that switching to ADP is easy. Someone mentioned it earlier. How easy is it to transition? It is seamless. We do all the work. They don't have to rekey their balances in. They don't have to rekey everything in. We're going to do all that for them. Here's the path. They purchase the product. We help them onboard. They activate and they get our 24/7 customer service support, 365 days. And they get a chat option. They get a phone option. They get an email option. Any sort of way that they want to be met from a service perspective, they'll have that at their fingertips. And then, really from a support standpoint, let us know how we can help train and educate, how we can help you be more successful, any other ideas you may have for us. And I want to show this slide before I stop sharing and go back to Q&A and look at the comments coming in. This slide here will show you how to link an existing account from Clover to payroll with a few easy clicks. The merchant doesn't even have to call into us. They don't have to change any of their platforms, their pricing. Everything stays the same. If you remember early on, I mentioned, how does this help you drive new business? Today, you may go, one of your agents, one of you can be presenting to a merchant that's like, I already use ADP. You're like, great. Let me sell you on Clover. You could then, and then I can show you how to connect the two. You sell them on the Clover device. They get activated on their dashboard. They use these few easy clicks, and they literally can start processing payroll right after doing the linking together. And there'd be no changes on the payroll side. A couple of questions. I'm surprised it hasn't come up yet, but I'll answer them. Where we bill inside. We bill through ACH directly to the merchant. So this won't come up on their billing. We did it this way on purpose. We didn't want them to be confused on the normal merchant processing billing because that was going to go and create more questions for all of you. So the way we do it is we do it just like the taxes, just like the deposits. Everything is done through ACH, and that's the way that we actually bill for our services. And that is I'll stop sharing. I'll check both places, the Q&A, and I'll check so start bringing in the questions. You can use the chat box. I'm manning both Q&A and the chat. We did this in good timing so you can ask questions and have some engagement. If we know a local ADP rep, can we use them to set up payroll with Clover? So we get this question. Look, we're not here to disrupt any of your processes. We ideally want you to be using the warm transfer number and the URL to submit leads. But if you have somebody that you're local with, that you're partnering with, we're not here to disrupt that. You can continue doing that. They know how to sell it on embedded. So if they're using Clover and you want the embedded option, you can continue doing that. Um, all right. What else? Matt, did I miss anything from the last time that we introduced we introduced it to you all? Okay.
I don't think you really missed anything. It was a great job presenting the product. The one thing, just to give a plug, I actually am in the midst of running payroll for electronic payments today with ADP. We have been a ADP client for almost 20 years at this point, and that long ago we were a very small company. So just as they have presented today, the different options available, ADP does a great job of having those different service levels. So as electronic payments has grown, we've grown our payroll services and HR services with ADP. So when I heard that they were embedding in Clover, it was very exciting because this company truly is the gold standard in payroll. So they are head and shoulders above a lot of the other competitors out there. It's very rare that any small business is going to start using a company like ADP and then decide a few years down the road that they want to jump ship and move on because they provide excellent service, they have good software. They really don't make major mistakes as long as you as a business owner are on top of your game, they're going to be on top of theirs. And their pricing is excellent as well. So we should have full confidence in selling ADP alongside Clover Solutions. So it's definitely exciting to have it there, and it is easy to get set up. So I just wanted to give people that because I do personally use ADP and I have firsthand experience. So I think that you could feel very, very confident in having your merchants utilize them as well.
Thanks, Matt. That's the best plug we can get. An actual happy customer. So thank you. And I think to Matt's point too, that I love what he said is the scalability. Many organizations can start out with one employee, two employees, and as they grow, their needs grow, and that's what we're here for, and that's what we're here to help with. Um, I do. I do see a couple more questions here. George, what is the cost again? Is there a free promo for new ADP clients? Yes. So the promo that you all can offer is 6 months free payroll services for any merchant that we onboard that's not using ADP today. They get month 4, 5, and 6, and month 13, 14, and 15, just so you have the details in case that you send it to somebody and they read the fine lines. It's not to be deceptive. We're very clear and upfront about it. And most merchants are excited just to get 6 months for free in their first 15 months. They're really only paying for 60% of the month. So it's a really exciting promo. The cost, if they use the package that Anand showed, the Digital Essential, is $79 a month and $4 per employee. As Matt was articulating, needs change, the service needs change as they scale, as their needs change, or maybe they're onboarding and they see something that maybe strikes their interest in one of the other bundles. There's different pricing structures in the other bundles, but just rest assured, as long as within reason, we are going to do everything we can through the power of this partnership to win the business for you, and for you to look like the hero for the merchant. Great question, George. I think it was George. It was cut off a little bit. Yeah, it is George. All right. I'll give it another minute. If we can give back some time in your day, that is always a great thing for me. So I appreciate and respect your time. Anything in the Q&A? Anything in the chat?
I don't see any new coming in. It looks like you hit on all of them. I know Jesse had put in a link earlier, so I'll add that into the chat for everyone here. Just for more details on the help guide itself, there's a link. And then we've also, on the ISO interface here, uploaded the sales playbook and FAQ that you all provided to us. So if anyone would like to download that, you can visit the ISO interface and click on marketing products and Clover, and you'll find them there.
Great. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody that joined today. Thank you, Matt, for having us on and for the entire electronic payments team. This is an exciting opportunity. I think Matt, we should have probably just ended the call with Matt's words because they were perfect. I'll just go back to what I opened with, and to me, like the true value of the of Clover Payroll by ADP. I think number one, hopefully this can help you drive more net new business. I really believe this is going to open new doors, give you the ability to compete against competitors, and then identify opportunities where they're already maybe using ADP and be able to wedge a Clover solution inside of that offering and be able to help you gain more wins. Number two, I think we're all always looking to go deeper with our existing offers. We know that merchants are looking for additional solutions. I used to always say when I was in the field for 23 years, is someone's going to buy this product, a good product, one way or another. It might as well be through your referral and through your impact, and go deeper with those existing merchants because they'll truly connect that back to you. And hopefully hopefully that connection then will lead into being their hero. And the last part is retention. I mentioned it a few times. Um, Payroll is a sticky product. We do a great job of implementing, servicing, and continuing to service and scale. And if I can give you tools to help retain that merchant longer, to me, like we're succeeding in the journey that we're on. So thanks again for everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Use the warm transfer line. Stay on, learn a little bit, and good luck out there. And hopefully you found some value in our time together today.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, both of you, for taking the time. If anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to us here. And we will, of course, post this recording and the deck so you can go back and pull any information that you may need. And just while I still have you all on the line, we are going to close out March with our final webinars for the month. So tomorrow we have another webinar with EPI Capital and Travis Starkey, who is our ULEN product specialist. Then the following Wednesday, the 18th, is part one of a two-part series for compliant fee mitigation programs that Megan Best, our VP of Business Operations, and Faye Burns, our compliance analyst, will be conducting. So that'll be March 18th, and then the following Wednesday, March 25th. So once again, thank you both so much for your time today. Really great to have you. Much appreciated. And we'll see the rest of you on our webinars tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.